denied sport, and why all Scottish football fans should unite behind our sides in Europe this week. Phil's here to tell us more.
Utopian world, Gary, of Rangers and Celtic fans cheering each other on. Hibs and Aberdeen supporters united to urge their favourites to greater glory.
What's in your tea this morning?
Well, it's never going to happen, is it? But perhaps it should for the greater good of our game, as we've arrived at a pivotal few nights as far as the numbers are concerned for Scottish football. Gavin Noon crunches them all at his online site, Scotland Coefficient. Gavin, morning to you.
Good morning, Phil.
Just sum up why this is such a big week in the race for the so-called top 15.
Well, it's a huge week because it's the last qualifying round before the league phase. So we've got 4 teams still in, all trying to make it into certain competitions. At the end of the season, UEFA will rank all the nations based on the amount of points collected over the last 5 years. As it stands, Scotland finished 17th, and we really need to finish 15th by the end of the season. So we want as many teams to pick up as many points as possible.
And if we don't enter the top 15, what happens?
It's quite a severe drop-off in entry points for the teams. So if we use last season's league finish as an example, just to illustrate, Celtic, for example, as champions, they've only got 1 Champions League qualifying round this summer. If we were to finish outside the top 15, that increases to 3 Champions League rounds, which is a massive drop. Go to Rangers then. If they were runners-up in this season's qualifiers, they had 3 Champions League qualifying rounds. That would change to 3 Conference League qualifying rounds. So the bottom tournament, the door to the Champions and Europa League would be shut for them. So a fairly substantial drop-off for the big 2. But it's not just for them, it's for everyone else. So Dundee United, who got so close to getting through last week, losing only on penalties, they wouldn't enter Europe at all. We would only have 4 teams rather than 5. And then Aberdeen, they come in this week for their sole qualifying round. As cup winners, instead of having 1, they would have 4 Europa League qualifying rounds. So it's a stark drop-off to what we've been used to over the last few years.
So we would have not just more qualifiers for our teams that qualify, but actually we would have fewer teams. This season we had 5. Last season we were on before. And a word on the specific countries that we need to be looking out for as far as their club results are concerned, because it's Austria and Switzerland who currently lie ahead of us.
Yeah, so in the utopian world that I live in, drinking whatever's in your tea that I must consume every day, where we're supporting all Scottish teams, we're also supporting whoever's playing Switzerland or Austria, which is why Dundee United's defeat last week was so disappointing, because that was against an Austrian team. So Austria are in the position we want. They're 15th at the moment. Switzerland are 16th, but it's quite a big gap in terms of points. So Austria are 2.8 points ahead of Scotland, which is the equivalent of winning 7 more league phase matches than Austria. So it's possible, but it would be much more possible if we had Hibs in the league phase as well.
So Gavin, just before my head starts getting even sorer than it is just now, do Scotland teams need to win 7 more games between now and the end of the season in Europe? 7 more games than, say, the Austrian club sides for us to overtake them?
Exactly right. That's the points difference at the moment.
Okay. And let's be clear, we're talking club football. We're not talking the national side.
No, the national side is only ranked on the FIFA World Rankings, which will then be used to decide what pots we're in for the World Cup qualifying draw, stuff like that. This is only the teams that we enter in Europe each season.
Right. You realise that there is a nation that's listening to this going, those 2 boys, what are they talking about? The greater good of Scottish football and everybody supporting each other. It's a fantasy world in which we exist, Gavin.
It is a fantasy world, but it's much fun living in fantasy than real life at the moment, I think.
Gavin Noon from Scotland's Coefficient, thank you very much indeed for crunching those numbers for us. It is a big week. We've got Celtic tomorrow night, we've got Hibs and Aberdeen on Thursday night. It all kicks off with Rangers tonight, the Champions League qualifier, a 2-leg shootout.